I'ma make a statement day by day. Peace signs up, put them in the air, they gon' rise up. Yeah. Peace signs up, put them in the air, they gon' rise up. Yeah. Peace.
And welcome back to Jam-Packed. Now, folks, I have a special treat for y'all, as always. Now, this is a super fun surprise because he is the parents' fitness coach himself. He is a father of 8 kids. I believe it's 7 girls.
Yes.
And he lost 75 pounds. And his whole mission is to help parents, busy parents, learn how to eat and shed the body fat. He wants to be clear that you're not changing a light bulb. It is going to be a process, and it's not an overnight transformation. And if you are ready to transform your life for the better and keep your weight off for life, schedule a health strategy call with him, and he'll go over all of it with you, over your struggles, strengths, and craft an actual action plan to lead you to success. So make sure you hit him up. It's a free session, a 30-minute health strategy call to really figure out a whole game plan. And he's also got a do-it-yourself nutrition guide now available on his website. His website link will also be in the show notes. If you're not sure, it's always going to be there in front of you. So you have no excuses, y'all. We will not be a part of this, the excuses. We're going to be a part of the solution out here. He grew up in Inglewood, joining us from Arizona, y'all. Folks, I bring to y'all the parents' fitness coach himself, Coach D. Woo!
Jamila, I'm excited to be here on Jam-Packed.
Hey, that's what we do. We try to be jam-packed out here.
I'm jam-packed with the kids, so this is the way to life.
You really are. I can't wait to get to that because that's a lot of kids. Like 7 kids.
8. No, it's 8, 7 girls.
I'm sorry. Sorry. 7 girls alone is way too much. That's a lot. I'm sorry. I got so thrown off with the 7 girls. I threw my own self off. That's a lot of kids. 8 kids total, but 7 girls. That has to be a lot. I know one girl and could be a lot, and having a wife, that's 2 women in the house. I feel sorry for our son. Like he's just like he's learning a whole lot out here, but that's a lot.
Yeah, it's me and my son versus the estrogen in the house, and it's always like, oh, you're a boy, and they try to push him away. So sometimes it's just me and my son, and it's like, all right, let's go play basketball or let's go do something because it is too much. But our family just works. Not saying we don't have issues, not saying there's not no sibling rivalry, but like it just works.
Yeah.
And I mean, we're learning and teaching the kids, talk it out. Talk it out. I had one daughter that was like, she thought she needed to be an only child. And I'm like, you got other siblings. So she would get up early to be alone. So she get her alone time. And I'm all like, okay, that's fine. But like, you have other siblings. You can't live like an only child.
But she figured out a way to find
to
find her namaste, to be that age and be like, well, I'm just going to wake up earlier so I can have that peace. That's very, like, that's a really dope, like, mindset to be like, you know what, like, because I feel like kids often don't think about it. It's just like, well, damn, like so-and-so is awake the same time I am, but kids, I don't, that's a very advanced notion to me.
Well, a long time. I think a long time is cool, especially when you got so many siblings and loudness and everything. And the one that's doing this is one of my quiet daughters, except for when she gets real goofy, she gets loud, but she's one of my more quiet daughters. So she's all like peace, quiet, and I'll watch this TV show. And like she's the type of person like, I'm gonna put on a TV show and I'm gonna bake. and I want to be left alone during this time.
That's dope though. That's cool though, because I have a blended family, and it is to me, that's a lot of people. And we are dealing with each other as adults. You know, I can't imagine dealing with them as a kid. Like that's a lot. That's a lot to take on. I have one full brother, I have three half brothers and two step siblings. So there's seven of us all together and we're adults. And, you know, I got my step siblings at like, you know, when I was an adult in my adult years.
Yeah.
So it was different, but I can't imagine what it would be like as a child and having to take on, okay, now there's more people. Okay, there's more people again. You know, that's a lot. That's definitely a lot. But how do you deal with that as a husband, as a dad, as an entrepreneur?
For me, it's schedule.
Yeah.
And like for me, and I still feel even with schedule, something gets neglected, but I have ADHD. I want to be a free spirit. I don't want to live by a schedule. So one of the biggest disciplines I had to learn was schedule everything. So I wake up or my alarm goes off at 4:50 every morning, and I snooze once, so I get that 9 minutes, and then it's time to get up. And then from 5 till 9:30 at night, everything is scheduled. And then Saturdays, usually evenings, are relaxed time, and then Sunday. But
Yeah.
I work Monday through Saturday, 1 o'clock, basically.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, now before I get completely carried away in our conversation, because I already feel myself just all in the conversation with Coach D out here. His drink of choice as the parent fitness go-to person, he is over here encouraging us to drink healthy. So we are doing celery juice. Okay. I got a whole thing of celery juice out here. Just celery juice. So
I got multiple cups.
yeah, so
extra.
I brought my shot glass out here so that we can take some shot glasses or some celery juice to the face. Ooh, I just poured that really to the top. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. So, the games that we're going to play today, we're going to play keywords and story time. So, story time, seeing as that you have 8 lovely, beautiful kids, we are going to put together a story, which is basically, a letter we're going in alphabetical order. The letter of that alphabet, you give a word where it's trying to piece together a story that hopefully makes sense. So I'll try to keep track of how that goes. And then keywords. So throughout the entire episode, keywords are going to be celery, fitness, parent, and gym. So anytime either one of us use those words, we both have to take a drink of some celery juice.
Celery juice. Okay.
And I've already tried the celery juice, and it low-key feels like somebody assaulted my taste buds. But I'm all for healthy greens. You know, I'll drink some kale and spinach all day, but celery is like.
I do not like it. Like my wife made me start drinking it, and my wife's always looking for like juicing remedies and all this stuff. And I'm like, all right, so I drink it, and I still like, usually I adapt. If there's something that I don't like, usually if I keep eating it for the sake of eating it, like maybe some protein powder or something like that, this celery juice, I still don't like the taste. So this is not like, this isn't like,
this is not a treat
healthy
for you either.
Yeah, but it's not a treat. It's not. Like, I cringe every morning. Just take it and go.
It's something really strong and potent in that celery part of this concoction that we put together that really hits hard on the taste buds. So for
ginger, I think hits the worst.
Right. Yeah. You know, I don't know. I'm kind of okay with ginger for the most part.
I love ginger.
As long as it's not like one of those ginger cayenne type of shots, those will burn your chest. But you know, I usually only take those if I'm, you know, feeling under the weather or whatever. But for y'all that are curious as to what's in our celery juice, Coach D went ahead and sent a recipe over, and it's 1 stalk of celery, 1 ounce of ginger, 1 half peeled lemon, 1 cucumber, and 1 green apple. So if you would like to make your own celery juice, There you go. And it'll also be in the episode blog of A Jam in Thought. But it also, celery juice actually does have its benefits, and it helps with the digestion and reduces bloating and bloating caused by inflammation. That's
correct.
so if you're ever feeling extra bloated, this is the jam right here.
So, I mean, another thing people usually do is they have apple cider vinegar. You see that? Oh, do your apple cider vinegar. Well, this and apple cider vinegar kind of do the same thing. The difference is there's an extra benefit to apple cider vinegar, which is it immediately tells your body to burn fat. Like it literally tells your body to turn on burning fat. And then it also does inflammation. It helps give you a boost of energy. It helps do all that stuff. The problem with apple cider vinegar is after 2 weeks of taking that, it's too much acid in your stomach. So you might have some heartburn and everything like that. So celery juice, like I've been taking it. My wife's had me on it for about 3 months now. Don't have that acid fix or anything else. I said so.
Yeah, I know. I realized, you know what? I realized when you said it, I was like, dang, I said it several times before that. So bottoms up. Here's some celery.
Woo.
This could be a long episode, folks.
That green vegetable with that's on the stock.
Wow. Woo, right there. I mean, you know, for apple cider vinegar, I feel like, what is your take on like when folks do a detox and they're just like, you know, I had an ex and they were like, oh, I'm just gonna have some apple cider vinegar, and I think it was like with like water and lemon, and then it was like, and that was her way of like trying to lose weight. Is that an actual thing? Is that a real thing, or does that go under one of those additional unhealthy losing weight type of plans?
Apple cider vinegar is, like I said, it makes your body turn on immediately and start burning fat. But this is like accessory. Like this is like, you don't think not working out and not eating right, apple cider vinegar is gonna fix your problem. It's just like I added like this juice that we're drinking right here and apple cider vinegar are added little bonuses, natural bonuses. When it comes to detoxing, I hate detox community. Detox, like so
he's coming for y'all, detox community.
No. Like our body naturally detoxes. So we have a liver, we have a spleen, we have a gallbladder, we have kidneys. Like our body naturally does this on itself. And if you eat right and eat balanced and you're active, your body does it even more, right? So the fact that you're just doing it every week, detox, I need to detox, or 30-day detox. Like if you're going to do something, like if you're going to do the green vegetable stock, right? I'm trying to be good. And if you're going to do this, like this is a nice healthy one you can do every day. But most detoxes don't need like to do more than 2 days. And like that's just a simple water and lemon with ginger and water, you know. There's nothing, 2 to 3 days is it. Like you detoxing, you are literally probably depriving your body of minerals because you're flushing them out every day. And detox teas do not work.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know, because it was like her whole mission was like, oh, I could do it for like a couple weeks, or and you know, earlier you just said like, you know, after like a week or two, like it's gonna start turning on you. It's not a good, it's not a good look, you know. And you know, I want to get into the knowledge. You know, it's so important to feed ourselves that knowledge of how the body works and not getting sucked into these trends of like what we see on Instagram and all of these other things, you know. What would you say to folks that are just out there like, no, I gotta try to find a quick way of doing this? It's, you know, it's the mindset, really.
It's mindset, but realize there's no quick way of doing this and keeping it off. Let me keep looking there in keeping it off. If you want to lose weight real quick, there's a lot of quick ways to drop pounds really, really quick. If you want to be a certain scale weight, if you want to lose some inches, but one, is it going to be fat or water weight? You
Mhm.
know, if you're flushing a bunch of water weight out your body to lose 5 pounds, that's great, but you're gonna gain that back real quick.
Mhm.
Also, if you're not feeding yourself enough, you're losing muscle mass. You're not losing weight. So there's a lot of ways to bring the scale down that are not
Mhm.
healthy and are not optimal for your optimum goal is to look fit, look good, feel good.
Mhm.
And so there's a lot of fast ways to do it, but you're most likely gonna feel cruddy and it's not gonna be fat. You're just gonna lose a bunch of water and muscle.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, your journey, your blank journey, because I was gonna, I was gonna say, and I was like, I don't even want to drink that drink right now. I was just like, you know, your journey has, you know, has really been, an all-encompassing and full circle kind of moment. You know, and it started with you in the Air Force, going to the Air Force straight out of high school, and then you got medically discharged in boot camp. You had pinched a nerve, but they couldn't find it, so they thought you had this big nerve disorder. And then you got back home, and then 2 weeks later, it was like you were fine. And then they told you you'd have to start boot camp all over again, and then you were like, no, f that. And then so your first real job after that was doing membership sales at 24 Hour Fitness, not as a personal trainer. But then when a flu epidemic happened, crazy that we're in a pandemic still right now,
Yeah.
you know, where all of the trainers actually had gotten sick. And then they asked all of the sales folks to go on and train. And you didn't realize that you had already known a lot about fitness already, you know, and working people out. They started to ask for you, specifically ask for you to train with you at that moment. Um, when you didn't even know what to do throughout your life at that point, or to find a job. You were having a hard time, and you kept going back to personal training, from 24 Hour Fitness to LA Fitness, and including small gyms, and doing private trainings and things like that. In that moment in time, what was your mindset? How did you persevere? Because what happened after that is even more um interesting. So what was your mindset at that time in your life, before you went on to do sales again, and where the journey started to really make more sense as you tried to lose that weight?
Well, for me, it was literally, all right, Air Force didn't work out. Like, so, all right, I go to the Air
Mhm.
Force. I'm doing PT. I'm in week like 6, like in boot camp in Air Force back then was 6.5 weeks. They used to make fun of airmen because like your boot camp's only 6.5 weeks. Everyone else was like 8 weeks or longer for Marines,
Oh,
Army, and
dang.
Navy. So, so I'm there, and all right, I'm not going back. Like I'm not repeating that process. So for me, it was my childhood best friend was working at 24 Hour Fitness. He said, "Come on, let's go." And it was a great environment. It was that hype environment. And for me, I have ADHD, so I'm always been a hyper energetic guy. And the gym just lets you. Oh, I said gym.
Ah, he
And you
did
know
it.
what?
Ah!
And you know
Oh
what?
my god.
I was like, I'm not gonna say that because they're all closed right now, so I wouldn't have to worry about that word.
Ah! Oh my god. Oh.
Mm.
I haven't felt this strongly about a shot in a while. Oh my gosh. Wow.
So that
Mhm.
atmosphere is like just a place I thrived in. So every time, like I went to go do sales, University of Phoenix. I went to go do that college enrollment thing. I went to go do, and every time it's all like, well, I'm gonna end up back at a recreational center.
Mhm.
And I just kept going, and I just kept going back, and it was funny because it was just I never realized it was just a peaceful place. But every
Mhm.
time I look back when I was looking at life, I was like, what's your best job? Personal training. Personal
Yeah.
training. What's the best job you ever had? Personal training. Personal training. And then I remember I had moved to Baltimore, and I got to Baltimore and I'm just looking for a job, looking, and couldn't find anything. and I'm watching the info. My uncle is actually, he has an outpatient procedure. So I'm in the waiting room and I took him, waiting for him, and the infomercial's on and they're selling some type of equipment and everything like that. And I'm all like, they're like, if you do this with the body, and the guy next to me is all like, you really think that works? And I'm all, it doesn't work. There's no way that can happen. And I just like literally start spewing out all this information, but haven't talked about exercise. That's good in a long time. Like, so I hadn't even talked about exercise, and probably at this time it was probably like a 3-month lay in between me privately training someone, and then I was like, as soon as I got off, I was like, I know where I need to go get a job. I went down there, got a job, got started next week. Like, boom. All right, I'm in a fitness. I'm at Bally's. I can say Bally's.
Yeah.
and I'm working it, and I'm working there. And it was just peace again, peace there. And I think the biggest thing is we don't pay attention to that. And I mean, we're young. We're like, I was in my 20s and everything like that. You're young and you don't pay attention to your environment of like, what's going to make you thrive? Where are you most successful? What are you happy here? And I think we get so focused on money and does this job pay me this, or what are the benefits here, that we don't look at what is going to be my most successful environment I'm going to thrive in.
Well, and then, after that, then you said, what, this personal training, it's not a family friendly schedule. It's the training schedule is Monday through Sunday, and it's off and on, and you got to be there for the kids, and it's a very busy schedule. And then you completely walked away and you went to software sales when everything was cloud-based. So you ended up you made a lot of money and ordered a lot of food. And then you worked a lot of hours, and every once in a while you would meal prep here and there, but you were stressed, and then you'd order food out of convenience. It was essentially what you call a cubicle life, which it is. I've done a cubicle life, and I feel like that was probably the biggest time in my life as well. Like, I feel like I'm big right now, but I know if I look back at those cubicle life pictures that I was in a very different place. That cubicle life and doing like those what do they call it? A buffet? No, not a buffet. When everybody brings some food. Potluck. There you go. A potluck. Everybody's doing a damn potluck. And it's like, we doing a potluck and then we just sitting back in this cubicle life. And, but it wasn't until you still see that, that Facebook memory that comes up every year for you, of eating about a 3,000 calorie meal, which was a whole orange chicken platter, a big thing of rice, 2 egg rolls, and crab puffs. That someone had taken a picture of you of that with the plate in the background, and you could see that when you ate all of that food at one time, and it was the habits of the trade. What was your mindset in that place, that cubicle life? Because for me, I know that was a very depressing space to be in, and I don't know if it was stress eating for me, or just eating out of convenience, or eating out of habit, or just eating just to eat. Like, it's all of these other things. Where was your mind at now? Because folks, for y'all that don't know, the pivot after this is so insane and so dope, of how you really changed it around after that.
Yep. So for me, my mindset at that time was money. So at this time, I got 8 kids. I am married, and at this time I was like, so all right, let's go back. So when I was younger, I wanted to be an actor, right? That was my whole thing. From like middle school through high school, I wanted to be an actor. That was it. I was in plays. I was in a couple independent movies, but then I had a kid young. So you have a kid young, the big dreams. Not saying you can't go after them, but you have to pivot and make some things. I had to get a job. So for me, I went from acting, then I tried to be P. Diddy. I'm gonna do this music thing because acting. I was like, acting takes me all these places, right? Acting literally takes me. I have to go here. I have to go to audition. This one might not pay, so I have to quit my good, 9 to 5, and this one's not going even pay me any money, but just to get credit. So I was like, okay. I had a friend. I was in an R&B group with a friend, and I can't sing, guys. Like I can't. I
Oh,
was
you have
what
to
was that?
see. Do you remember any of the songs from those days from your R&B group?
No, no. We didn't. We never recorded a song. This is how bad. Like
Ooh.
now, no, like it was like this B2K thing, and I guess I was little Fizz because I couldn't, I can't sing at all. I used to be able to sing, and then when puberty did a number on me, like I was singing solos in choir, and puberty did a number, and I couldn't sing anymore. So I'm doing this, but I'm doing so good of a marketing. I got us interviews on the radio.
What?
I got us 2 interviews on the radio. We're popular, and this is like MySpace days, right? So we're MySpace. There's people from out of town coming in thinking we're celebrities, and then if we walked into the club, like and we never recorded a song, right? Never recorded a song. We only performed one time, and we bombed. And we tried to sing Shy. And if I
Yeah.
And we
and y'all
bombed.
fell.
Like keys were jingling. And what's funny was like we didn't quit. Like those people usually go off the stage when keys start jingling. We finished to the end, right? And they were like, so everyone there was the comedian. His or Anthony Brown, I think's his name. Anthony Brown. He used to be on Comic View, but I think Anthony Brown was hosting, and he was all like, "The fact that y'all finished, let's give him a round of applause." He goes, "Y'all got the look, but y'all need to pay some money to someone to improve your talent." But anyway, so
dang.
I tried to fast forward through that story. Our name, I'll drop our name. Our name was NV Us, like in the letter N, the letter V, and then us. That was our name.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Was that in LA?
No, that was in Arizona. That was
Arizona.
My God. Oh, we would have got laughed at LA. We wouldn't have been able to come back.
You really would.
LA's unforgiving. I wouldn't have come back for that. But
LA could be very unforgiving.
So for me, I jumped around a lot, and I jumped like if you name a good job in Arizona, I've had it because I was never happy. I would jump from sales job to job. I'll have a job for 6 months, be like, and then my friends would applaud me because I would quit a job on Monday and have a better job on Tuesday, paying more money.
Damn.
And my friends were like, "What? How do you do this?
How? Like, tell us, shit. How do you do that? That's crazy."
That was just, I guess, favor of the Lord. I don't know. I literally don't know. Like, I'm like, yo, I'll apply. And I'll just get, part of it's like ADHD, part of it's like, all right, not living your passion, not doing, like, I was great at sales, awesome at it, but I was never happy. Like, if the only day you're happy is payday, there's a problem. Like,
right.
So never happy. So I went from acting to music, and then music in Arizona, they've improved it a lot here now. But like back then in Arizona, like people just wanted to be famous in Arizona. Like if you knew your name in Arizona, they're like, "Oh, I'm famous." They don't want to grow or anything like that. So I left music, and then I went, and I just went straight humble. I got my life back with Jesus. So that's part. So I got my life back with Jesus, and then I was married before to my childhood or my high school sweetheart, and I was just like, I'm gonna do better. And so I had to be like humble. All right, stop being in the spotlight. Part of ADHD, you always want to be in the sunlight. Again, not knowing this. Remember, ADHD was like a rumor, right? Back when I was a kid, right? So we just started figuring out what ADHD truly is. So as a rumor, like I didn't know, like me wanting to be in the spotlight all the time was a social, thing with ADHD. So I was like, be humble. So now I'm a writer. So I just write.
Yeah.
And I write, and I was stuck writing for a while. Then I stopped writing. then what my niece calls, I just call it this because she calls it this, and I'll get to that part of the story. I was an online pastor for a little bit, and I was just putting out I'll put out scriptures, inspiration, and satire and everything like that. I did that for a while. Wasn't successful.
Yeah.
So this is all why I've left personal training. And personal training, it was just like, all right, I need a better job that pays more. And then also, I don't have time now. I have 8 kids. I have a job. I'm also in school online. I do not have time to even personal train on the side. So my whole thing right now, my goal is, all right, I'm going to write and I'm going to be a teacher. That's my mindset. That's what I'm going to do.
Now,
And,
you also wanted to be a teacher, didn't you, growing up?
yes. I wanted to teach. It was kind of like when I couldn't be an actor, that was kind of my mindset, go teach. And what kind of got me into sales was I was like 19, no, I was probably like 20 at the time. And I had an older friend, he had just graduated college. And I'm just taking classes part-time right now, but my goal is to be a teacher. And he tells me, I got my first offer. And I'm like, it's $28,000 a year. Now I'm 19, 20, I'm making $60,000 a year. And he's all like, I was like, what, to be a teacher? He goes, yeah. I'm like, you're going to make how much? He goes, 28,000. I was like,
yeah.
No, like, no, there's no way I'm going, like no commission. There's like nothing to add to that.
Yeah.
So like the sales bug had kind of gotten me. I like to call them golden handcuffs because you get these sales jobs and they pay you so much. But then if you ever leave, no one else is going to pay you that much. Like, so it's golden handcuffs. So, but like I had already been struck by that. And I was like, I can't take a pay. $28,000. Like, and I'm all like, I'm looking, I literally went in there as we talked about this. Like, I think I went into ADP or something like that. And I'm going to check, I'm on my laptop and I'm checking my computer. And I'm all like, I get paid this much, like 28,000. I'm like, nope. Like the whole career change was like, nah, that's not possible for me. Like, there's no way I'm gonna be a teacher and make 28,000. Like,
oh my goodness.
And this time I think I only have one kid. This time I only have one kid, and I'm saying that.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I mean, during that 4 to 5 year gap, you tried to lose weight here and there, and then a couple of months, and then you'd gain it back, and then you were going to school, and you finally got your degree, and your wife is actually also a teacher.
Correct.
And she changed her teaching job to bridge the salary gap for when you actually got a job as a PE teacher. What did that mean for you as a husband, as a father? What did that mean to you for your wife to make that sacrifice, that compromise?
For me, it meant a lot. We always say moms are unsung heroes, but I think dads are too. For some things, and if you're a good man, you sacrifice for your family. That's what happens. You work extra, you turn, like, there's times, and like, you just cook dinner, there's not enough. Not that there's not enough because we're broke, but there's just not enough food left over. And I grab a bowl of cereal, and like my wife's written me letters, like, just noticing all those small things, like, you turn down, like, you're good. And I'm like, whatever. For me, it's nothing, but for her to do that, because I was sick, I was like having that like early midlife crisis in sales. And for her to do that for me meant a lot, because I know she was comfortable where she was. She enjoyed where she was. But in that comfortability, she was underpaid where she was as well, but it was fine because I was making 6 figures in sales. So for me, my salary got cut more than half of that. And so for her to take a job where it was not comfortable, but yet and still bridge our salaries to make it work, it meant a lot. And I mean, she said it, I thanked her, and she said, like, you sacrificed these years, like, you've been doing something you've hated for us. So, I mean, and that's what true teamwork is. Like, some people take a back seat while the others go forward, and then the other person takes turn. That's teamwork. sometimes it takes that,
Mm-hmm.
in marriage. I've seen a lot of successful marriages, I'll work, you go to school, and then once you done with school, you work, I'll go to school, and then they did it together. And I mean, that's the way it should work. You should be building
Yeah.
each other up. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, once you got the job as a PE teacher, your motivation was, I don't want to be a fat PE teacher. And that
no,
is but that's so real. Nobody wants to be that, PE teacher. But so I thought that was such an interesting motivation. And that really triggered a lot of things and really kind of brought back the personal training. I said it. The oh
you
no,
said
fit
personal trainer.
yeah,
No, now you didn't say it.
I just said fit. I didn't say the rest. But that was your motivation. And you had gotten hypertension and high blood pressure during the time of trying to lose weight a different way. So you and your wife, as you said, teamwork makes the dream work, essentially. You both had worked on trying to schedule a time doing trial and error. So trial and error with your schedule of, okay, you tried nighttime, okay, that didn't work because you were still kind of high on that adrenaline of
Yeah.
working out at night. Couldn't do it during the day. You got to help the kids with homework and all that good stuff. So you both figured, let's just wake up early in the morning and hit it. And that's what y'all ended up doing.
Yeah.
What was it for you during that time of trial and error, trying to figure out, like, I need to figure out a way to do this and a time to do this? But because that must have been very frustrating trying to go through that trial and error process.
It was the year before. My brother had went consecutively at 5 in the morning, and that year before, I just couldn't do it. Like
Mm-hmm.
I was literally like, I think I joined him. He went for a good probably 6, 7 months at 5 in the morning, and I probably joined him like 5 times. Like it was that bad. Like I just literally didn't do it. So for me, that year, we had just made the decision that we were like, all right, we're gonna go. But now in between this time, yeah, I go to the doctor for a physical because my insurance was like, if you get a physical and they say you're good, your insurance premium's lower. Cool. And I go there and the medical assistant is like reading my blood pressure and she goes, hold on. She goes, take a deep breath in, do it again. She takes it like 2 times. Then she brings in another one. They take it. Then they bring in the doctor. And they're like, I'm going to give you, I'm like, what is going on? Your blood pressure is like 180 over 140. If you guys don't know, that is stroke level. Like you're going to have a
Mm-hmm.
stroke. So she puts me on there. I go to the cardiologist and he checks me. They always check your kidneys. They check your heart. They check your arteries and veins in certain areas to make sure that, you're not risk a heart attack or kidney failure. And I'm clean. So
Mm-hmm.
basically what it is genetically induced high blood pressure. So I can't do anything about it. But what they always tell you, you're overweight, you need to lose weight, stay
Mm-hmm.
away from salt, stay away from all this stuff, right? So I start doing it. And that's one of the times I probably lose 20, 25 pounds, then stop and
Mm-hmm.
gain it back. So
Yeah.
it's just what happened. It was nothing ever motivated me. I think the lowest I ever got was I was at 2. So my current high was 260. I had got down to 223. And I was all like, okay. And then I don't want to put nothing on blast, so I'm not trying to do it. But all right. I'm just gonna say it. Herbalife. I'm just gonna say it. All right. Herbalife. I was on Herbalife, right? So I was 260. I got down to
Mm-hmm.
223 on Herbalife. This time we had our daughter. One of our daughters had manifested a condition that came from strep throat, and so took our life through a tailspin trying to figure out what it is. The condition is rare. They had to call in 20 doctors and only one knew what it was, you know, like this type of thing. So at this time that happened. So it took us like 3-4 months to get back to normal. And then we go back to Herbalife. It was working, right? It stopped working. It just wasn't working anymore. Like we weren't losing weight. And we were working. I'm trying harder. And we tried it twice and it just wasn't working. So that happened. Blood pressure happened. Hey, I want to do, you know, I want to look good for my birthday happened. And you lose weight, gain it back, lose weight. Tried keto, trying being pescatarian, tried all this stuff. So the beginning of the year, we said we were just going to do, we're going to Jamaica. So Jamaica was already paid for. So of course, we're just trying to look good for Jamaica. And then I'm in the hiring process for the teacher. And I honestly was trying to be an English teacher at that time. Like I said, at that time, I'm a writer. So I'm trying to be an English teacher. I wasn't really trying to be a PE teacher. And they were like, you know, we got this position open. It's a PE teacher. And I think that's the one we're going to pick for you. But I didn't even leave that place with a definite job. They just said, we'll have a job for you. So then when they called and told me, hey, it's PE teacher, I was all like, cool. And I remember like, yo, I am not going to be a fat PE teacher. Like, I just refuse to be the fat PE teacher, sweating and, you know, fat shirt and man boob. I was like, no. So that kind of kicked it into high gear. And me and my wife, again, kids get home from school 3 or 4. We got off around 3 or 4 at the same time. So there's an hour we got to spend with the kids, make sure the schoolwork is done. That didn't work. 9 o'clock at night, adrenaline, it's hard to get back to sleep. It's hard for your body to rest internally after a workout. So we had to sacrifice to say, do we want this? Yes, we want this. 5 a.m. it is. So that's what started this. And through that, people started reaching out. Hey, Derick, you training again? Hey, Derick, you training again? And I'm like, at this time, I'm fat still, right? So I'm like, nah, like, I ain't training. I'm not
and this
training.
is from when you were posting those pictures, trying to keep yourself accountable on social media.
I was just posting pictures because I'm all like, if you post it on social, people gonna call you out if you lie. Like, let's just be real. People are looking to find something wrong with you. So I was like, I am literally, and it's funny because I remember I did my first post and my wife was like, you tell too much. Cause I was like telling my whole story. And I was like, you tell too much. And I was like, hey, if I put it all out there, people are gonna hold me accountable. And that's exactly what I wanted, was accountability. So I'm losing, I'm posting, and I'm being just transparent. Like when I plateau and I don't lose any weight, I'm letting people know I'm just doing it. And people are like, hey, you know, you're really doing this. Are you training? And I'm like, no, I'm fat. Like, leave me alone. And then training, like, fat, and leave alone. And then it just kept calling. And then I had one client that was a friend I used to work with, and she had just started saying, hey, I'm gonna start this. So I was like, hey, be my first client. I'm trying to get into this training thing again. I'm gonna train you for free, be a training class. She's like, cool. So I'm doing that. Now I'm a teacher right now. And you know, I told you, me and my wife didn't combine. It still ain't working. Teachers, a little promo side note, teachers of America do not get paid enough. Like, they do not.
They really don't. And we miss you, teachers, because this homeschool life is not the business.
Woo!
It is not the business.
But teachers do not get paid enough. So my wife made that sacrifice and I was there, but we were struggling. So I'm Ubering and I pick up a guy right out maybe 1.5 miles from where I live. And we're just in the car. We're going a far distance too. He has like a 25-mile trip, but we're in the car, we're talking, and he's all like, I got to get a new personal trainer. And he goes, the other guy's flaky. And I'm just like, okay. So I hear, you know, the guys like talk, speak up. I was like, all right. So you looking for a personal trainer? He goes, yeah. I'm looking for a personal trainer. I was like, oh, I personal train too. He goes, yeah. I was like, just started a business, just getting started. So he goes, all right. I was like, I actually live close to where I picked you up from. Where do you want to work out? And he goes, where we work out is like the gym's right in between our houses. So it works. And it just worked. Oh, I said, Jim, no. I'm just letting you know your digestion in the morning might be really, really good.
Ooh, it's going to be, I think tonight is the night.
This is a detox. This is a
yeah, this is the real detox right here. Y'all looking for a real detox? Drink this celery juice concoction.
say that word. See, I put in my head I wasn't gonna say that word because they all closed. I was like, they all closed. I ain't gonna mention that one.
Yeah.
But so that was my first paid client, and
Mm-hmm.
been going ever since. And
Mm-hmm.
started overweight. So for anybody looking to start something, I'm just saying, just start. I don't care where it's at right now. Just start. Because I was overweight, I was struggling, and then for me, most people's fat is their stomach. It hits their stomach first. For me, it's man boobs first. So I had a 6-pack with man boobs still when I was trying to get rid of them still. And I was like, why is my fat go to man boobs first instead of stomach? Like, so,
Yeah.
but the whole process was amazing. And to lead me back to where my first kind of real job is where my passion and where I'm at now is awesome story. And to be like, I had to become fat to figure that out.
Well, and you still have your dollar, your very first dollar that you made. You still have
Yes,
that
I do.
dollar. And how
Where's it at?
dope
I
is
moved
that,
it.
y'all? That you got your very first paid client from doing Uber.
From being an Uber. From doing
That's
Uber.
so ill. That's so dope.
I just cleared off my desk, and I don't know. I was moving my desk around, and I don't know where
It's
the
in a
dollars. I
frame,
showed you
y'all.
when we talked.
He's looking for it, man. It's in a frame. It's
I'm
a
looking
framed
for it.
dollar bill. He looking for his
Look.
framed dollar bill.
Someone just stole my dollar, y'all.
You better check one of them kids. They're like, the ice cream man was coming. I needed it. I'll pay you back.
And you can't buy none on the ice cream
Oh, there
truck
it
no more
is.
for
There it
$1.
is. Now we see it. Now we see it. Ooh,
First
that's
dollar
a
bill.
nice frame. That's a nice
Yeah,
frame.
my wife did this. I was all like, ooh, this is a fancy frame for $1.
Yeah, that's a cool frame though. Okay. All right, wifey. We see you.
number one fan. Like I truly appreciate my wife, and she like the days I don't believe in myself, she believes in me enough for both of us. Like, it's awesome.
That's awesome. And that's what's important in finding a partner, a significant other, someone that you're going to spend the rest of your life with, you've no matter what you've been through, anytime you've ever lost your way, you've always found your way back to that magical place
Yes.
that I cannot say. And you love helping people, working out with them with their meal plans. And you've discovered, I feel like life is about trial and error, right? Like trying to figure out, does this work? Does that work? And then, so now you're going into this new world of training folks. You were trying to figure out a way of how it could match what you made in sales, and still, spending that time with your family, and being present for them. And you kept seeing things about being online, doing online fitness coaching, but I said the word. Oh gosh, I was so in the zone, and I've got to pour myself up. Oh gosh, let me. Oh yeah. Oh goodness, this is gonna be a long night.
15 pounds, 15 pounds, 15
Yeah,
pounds.
exactly. Long night of digestion and detoxing. Ooh.
Woo.
Wow. Wow. The taste doesn't get better, y'all.
No, I'm telling you, 3 months, I still don't like it, Mike.
Oh man, that's rough. Like you had met, you had found someone as more of like a coach, for you, that was more of kind of like a shredded, I'm a this type of person.
Bodybuilder. Yeah.
Well, bodybuilder, there you go. There's oh no, I could say trainer. I just had to revisit the words. This kind of trainer. But they were more of like a bodybuilder person. Was there, for folks that are looking to maybe get into that world of either training or looking for a coach that works for them, what would you say to them to look out for of finding what gels?
Well, first, number one, and this has nothing to do with fitness. Oh, I said it. I said it.
No, no.
I gotta pour me some more.
Oh, my taste buds were just maybe trying to get used. Oh my god. Oh gosh. All right. Bottoms up, y'all. Ooh, yes. Cheers.
Man.
Mm, mm.
So this has nothing to do with the
Mhm.
exercise world. You have to know yourself, know who you are, because once you know who you are, you then know your audience. So I'll use me as an example. I struggled at first with this business because I was still trying to be 21-year-old sex model Derick. When in true, I'm 30 something, 8 kid, married, need a minivan Derick, right? So like know who you are. And once I like, all right, in business, stop trying to personify this sex symbol in the exercise world and just know who you are, it totally changed. So one, know yourself so you know who your audience is. And then when you're hiring a coach, no matter what type of business you do, hire a coach that would hire your audience as well. So I hired a bodybuilder, and there's something, I'm not saying his name, but he gave me a strong foundation. So I don't want to discount. Again, I put more ownership on me more than him because I didn't know what to do. This is my first time, hiring a coach. So hire someone that would hire your same audience now that you know who it is, and then learn, implement. A lot of what I'm seeing right now since COVID is a lot of people are learning a lot of stuff in their own lane or whatever field they are, but they're not implementing. So everyone was like, I know last year the whole theme was, you need to start a side hustle, you need to have a business. I feel that way because I'm that way, but then a part of me feels like everyone's not like that. Like some people are 9 to 5 people, and that's fine. I do feel like you should be growing at every aspect, whether that's personal development or learning a new language or something. I do feel that it should be growth, but some people are 9 to 5 people, and that's fine. There is a piece about that as well. Like if everyone, I hate the stigma that everyone should be a boss, because if everyone's a boss, who's going to be an employee? Like, like someone has to be an employee, like, right? So, so for me, I would just say, once you know who you are, hire that person, implement. Last year, I saw a lot of learning. I saw a lot of people recording some information, taking notes, but I don't see a lot of implementation. And then my next thing is, once you implement, don't stop, be consistent. I've seen more. I used to be, I post for a week on Instagram, and this didn't have a good week. I didn't have a good week, so I stopped posting for 3 weeks. Then I go give it another week and a half this time and stuff. So whatever you're doing, and I've learned a lot for Instagram marketing and everything like that. Like, consistency is the number one tool that every coach you hire is going to tell you have to post frequently. So if anyone's trying to break in, and also anybody watching this wants to get in, DM me. I don't feel for online coaches there is a lot without paying a coach. And I feel there should be a free way. Like, I could read up a job description on, what a mailman does or what a lawyer does. Like, online, no, there's nothing on there for online trainers to be like, this is what an online trainer does with them. So I am happy to help to get you started and then point you in directions of people to take you to the next level that will cost. But anybody that's watching this, DM me on Instagram and I would gladly help you out.
And now, with your clientele, is there because I know I've heard you talk about like wanting to train like 70 to 80 people at a time. That's the beauty of online training. Is there I had like 5,000 questions that came at me at once. But with folks that are looking for maybe that online fitness, what is I said it. But what is are there things that you're looking for from your client because it's really a commitment that you're making together.
It is. For me, my clients, you have to be ready to make a change. And when I say this, one of the biggest hesitations with people going online is, oh, where's the accountability? We were virtual, we're only meeting like this, where's the accountability? And I'm like, I've had people pay the gym thousands of dollars. I said, Jim, they gotta take two.
Oh,
But I'm a double
man.
word.
I was silently trying to drink that while Derick was talking. Oh gosh. Okay.
But there is people who have paid for training before in person and haven't shown up and lost money. So it doesn't matter if it's virtual or if it's in person. If you're mentally not ready to change your life, you're just not ready. So for me, it's my biggest questions are always look for injury. What's your like, make sure you don't have any injuries. Not saying I can't work with you with the injury, but I want to make sure I'm not putting you in danger with any exercises. And then second, do you have 5 hours a week to commit? 5 hours a week to your fitness. 24 hours times 7. I don't know what that math is, but what's that? 160. I think that's 168 hours a week. Like 5 towards your fitness. That's all it takes. So I make sure of that. And then again, I have a line of questioning to kind of determine if they're ready. If they're mentally ready. Someone tells me, I want to lose this 5 pounds for, 10 pounds for my birthday. Nah, that's not really a motivation.
It's a life change. It's a life commitment. It's a lifestyle. It's a life change. It really is a change of habit and what you do. And I love that you put really doable exercises that someone can do, whether they're at home, at work. What was it, like the chair sits?
Yep.
I think you did at least like 5 or so exercises with a chair. It was like jumping jacks on a chair and squats, and you had all of these different things that you could do. So, folks that are listening, and maybe you're not ready to make that full commitment, but Derick, Coach D, is leaving gems for you on his Instagram page. There's really no other better way than to maybe even get started that way if you're not sure. And there's plenty of trainers that are dropping gems, but you really are going through every single one of these workouts. And, parents are always like, I'm busy, this and this. What do you tell parents that want to make that change, but their actions aren't making that change?
I try at times. I can be very blunt, or my wife say be rude at times. And I try. I don't try to be rude, but like sometimes you just need to call it for what it is. And that's like, you're not putting effort to this. This is not a priority for you, And so I try to be steer nice at first, especially when they're first beginning. But like, we shouldn't be in week 6 talking about track your food, like, like that's just kind of my mindset. Like, I like, ABCs are over. And then for me, it's no excuses, right? So like in my program, the workouts are 30 minutes. All right. But like the free ones I drop, I try to keep between 15 and 20 minutes. Again, just following me. I actually had someone reach out, I want to say right before Christmas. Someone reached out and said they've been following my workouts. They lost 20 pounds. They didn't buy any training from me. They just were doing every workout I posted, they were doing like 3 times a week. And they were watching, they were following my diet. So I got a message saying, I just thank you for everything that you're posting. I know I've been watching from silence, but I implemented everything. I was able to lose 20 pounds. Like, so like you said, I'm giving you resources, and I'm very big on education. We're talking about cubicle life earlier. And when you're in sales, it's stressful. Well, if I'm ordering food like that and I'm stressed out, our body does not digest food when we are stressed out. It actually just turns it all to fat. So you can eat salad 5 times a day, 7 days a week, and your body will start turning that food to fat because you're stressed out. So again, educating people on what's actually going on with their bodies. Because I think a lot of people do not give themselves grace because you think, oh, I'm emotionally eating. It's I don't have any willpower, or I can't sleep at night and I eat late at night. But it's really your body is saying you're in a bad place mentally. So your body's releasing a cortisol, a negative hormone, and your body's saying be happy. The fastest way to make your body happy is dopamine. The fastest way to spike dopamine is sugar. So your body's actually telling you to eat carbs because it wants you to be happy. It doesn't want you stressed. It doesn't want you frustrated, and it doesn't want you bored. So just that education, that's what I really try to do, is educate people. So again, you could take this stuff yourself. Some people are strong enough. If I give you the formulas on my Instagram page or in my email, if you're on my email list, they can take it and run with it. Just like that lady said, she lost 20 pounds just watching. And then some people need more accountability, which means you got to hire the parents exercise coach for the day. And do it. But I think my brand promise really is I'm going to educate you enough that you never have to invest into a personal training program again. Like, you're going to know how your mind works. You're going to learn discipline. You're going to know how your nutrition works. You're going to know how your body works. You're going to know how exercise. If you're a woman, you're going to know what supplements you should take. If you're a man, what type of exercise you should do, how important sleep is, what's going on. Because a lot of people don't know. They're assuming a lot of stuff and they don't know that your body is reacting because you're not sleeping or you're stressed out and stuff like that. So my thing is to educate. And that's the way I still get to be a teacher. Even though I'm not in the classroom anymore, I still get to educate everyone on their body.
Wow. You know a lot. You really know a lot. And for folks that are listening, he's dropping gems, y'all. He's really dropping gems. I think we have a little bit of time to fit in some story time.
Okay.
So I'll let you start with A, and then we'll go B, and then we'll go back and forth. And then anytime you can't think of something, we got to take a shot, and then we'll move on to the next person to try to go through the alphabet.
Okay.
All right. And I will try to keep track of what we have.
Let me go. We took a lot of shots. I didn't think we were going to get through that many.
We sure did. We sure did. What you got? What you got?
Okay. Is it one word or I just
Yeah,
have
one
to
word.
start the sentence? Okay.
One word.
Another.
Ooh. Beautiful.
Courageous.
Ooh. Day.
Earth.
I'm sorry, what was that? Earth?
Earth.
Okay. So another beautiful, courageous day, Earth. 4.
Before. Earth 4. Oh my gosh. 4. Gave. Like, I can't do that. Combine. 4.
What's that?
I said gave. For Gabe.
Yeah.
Combine them.
For Gabe. All right, we gonna take a drink.
I'm done. I'll take it.
All right, let me fill this up. Oh my goodness, this is wow. We really did go through these shots. Okay. Ooh. Another beautiful, courageous day, Earth, for Godfrey.
Wow. Godfrey. Heightened.
Ooh. In
Jambalaya.
Jambalaya. Okay, so we have another beautiful, courageous day, Earth, for Godfrey, heighten in Jambalaya. Killing. gonna take a drink. I'm gonna take a drink. Mm.
I'm like kicking
Oh, kicking. That's a good one. Kicking. Lamont.
married
None.
on
Parade.
question
Right.
shoved. The story don't make sense.
So we have another beautiful, courageous day, Earth for Godfrey, heightened in jambalaya, kicking Lamont, married, none on parade question right, shoved. Shoved two.
Umbrellas.
Oh my goodness. Shoved two umbrellas. Vivaciously.
With
Xylophones.
yodeling.
Yodeling. Oh my goodness. Zebras. Yodeling zebras.
This is a bedtime story for sure.
It definitely is. So another beautiful. So here's the the final one. Another beautiful, courageous day, Earth for Godfrey, heightened in jambalaya, kicking Lamont, married none, on parade question right shoved to umbrellas vivaciously with xylophones yodeling zebras. Yodeling zebras, y'all. Yodeling zebras.
Yodeling zebras. That works. Talents.
Exactly.
They put that one in the children's story right there. That's going on. Bedtime story.
For real. For real. I feel like there were so many good keywords they would use for a bedtime story.
I'm sitting there. I'm all like, jambalaya, huh? Kicking jambalaya. I played it that way, and I played it where it's a sentence, but every sentence had to start with the alphabet. So like for me, it would be like another lady went to the store, and then and then like when I did that. So I played it both ways before.
Okay, we might have to do like some keyword or some story time extended. Okay. All right, nice. I mean, speaking of story times, it goes back to all those kids. That's a lot of kids. How has it been since the pandemic? And what is the dynamic been? Has it been different from, when, your quiet one was trying to get away from everybody, how has that changed with the dynamic of really being trapped essentially in the house during a pandemic?
Very stir crazy. And for me, it kind of went like this. Like it was like January, oh, there's this COVID. February, okay, is this serious? And then like March, it just got real serious. So for us, it was like, okay, online. We were focused on a couple of different things. Like our oldest graduated high school, so we were like, that sucked. She didn't have a regular graduation. We had two 8th graders graduate, so they kind of did a drive-by graduation, and we did it in the car. So it was kind of more about missing out on things. And I think all of us just thought it was going to get better over. And like summer, we usually do like, even if we don't have a big trip plan, we usually go up to the mountains for hiking and camping. We were in a cabin. We do that. And we didn't do anything because we are just like,
Yeah.
okay, is it safe? Is it safe? Um, and then like for me, I have genetically induced hypertension. So hypertension, it makes you, if you get COVID, makes you high risk. Because I guess it makes your blood pressure drive up as well. My wife has severe asthma. A couple of my kids do as well, so that makes you high risk. My mother-in-law lives with us as well. She's in the age bracket, so we were very strict at first. 100%. Not that we've let up a little bit. Depending on the kids in the neighborhood, we'll let my son go play basketball because we know they're being homeschooled. They're not going out as well. We do store runs and like we take one kid at a time, make sure they're masked up. But like it's again out the house, refreshing. Last year, a couple times, we went to the park and just had a picnic in the park, just our family and everything like that. So right now in Arizona it's really cold, so there's really not much to do but stay in the house. So when spring comes, we'll probably try to do the picnic things again, get them out more. But I'm always, it's all like you can always be careful, but you don't know what anybody else is doing, you know. So I think that's the biggest thing in this situation is you having to trust everyone else's safety and is a priority as well. And we know there's a lot of people out there that don't care until it hits them.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's true. You know, in your journey, you've had um a very inspiring journey, and I appreciate you taking the time to share yourself as well as those moments of what you went through, going through the process of how you got to the 75 pounds down. And you make it very clear anytime, on your website or on Instagram, whatever it is, whether it's on Clubhouse, that it wasn't overnight. This was really truly a journey and a
Yes.
process, and it's a mental and spiritual and physical experience and journey, and you go in so many different places, within a journey. How did those good days um fuel and motivate you for those during those difficult days when you were going through that process?
I think there's progress and then using different tools. So like everyone's number one tool is what? The scale, right? Boom. So scale is fine, but when you're working out and you're gaining muscle, you might lose 2 pounds of fat and gain 2 pounds of muscle. Well, that scale weight's going to be the same, right? So using other tools, how do clothes fit?
Mhm.
Like for me, I had to throw out all my clothes. Like I had to throw out like 80% of my clothes because they didn't
Mhm.
fit anymore. Like that's a big gauge, no matter what the scale says, but none of these clothes fit anymore. Measurements, using measuring tape, getting measurements. A lot of times, especially in women, you're going to see inches faster than your scale weight drop. So that's another important thing. So being tracking your progress. I always say live with gratitude. I'm a big believer in having a gratitude journal. So those bad days, go back and look at the good days for the grateful days when you did have progress. Look at the pictures. Look at all that stuff because some days it really is bad. Even today, like this is my job. I love what I do. There's
Mhm.
some days I don't feel like waking up. And I think that was the biggest thing is unlearning diet culture, unlearning all this stuff we've learned and just accepting for what's real is real. All right. You
Mhm.
know, some people need to be vegetarians based off their body, based on how we react. Some people need, to be high protein. Some people need to be balanced everything. So there's some of this is feel for your body, become self-aware of yourself more. How does my body react when I eat bread? You know? So
Mhm.
like for me, I intermittent fast. Are you familiar with that? Uh
Mm-mm.
okay. So I guess I gotta explain it for the listeners as well anyway. So,
We
so
don't know anything over here. We
so
learning. We
intermittent
here to learn.
we learn. So intermittent fasting is where you are taking an extended break from not eating. So traditionally, you would eat from noon, lunchtime, till 8 p.m. at night. This is what I follow every day. Now, you still need to eat if you're on an 1,800 calorie diet, if you're on a 2,500 calorie diet. When I say diet, I mean daily intake of calories. That is exactly, you still need to eat that same amount in that 8 hours. What this allows your body to do is just heal itself and give your body a tune up and oil change every single day. So your body gets to find cancer cells and destroy them before they replicate. Your body gets to go to your brain. Your brain has Alzheimer's has excess proteins on your brain and they never get flushed. That's what triggers Alzheimer's. Well, your body has time to flush those. Your body has time to fix your elasticity in your skin. So it's great for keeping you looking younger. And then the last, and I mean, this helps as well, and this is why people do it, is there's weight loss. Because while your body is doing all this stuff, repairing itself, it's using fat to do it. So your body, you burn fat by intermittent fasting as well. Well, nutritionists say you should eat breakfast at least once a week for if you're intermittent fasting. So most of my clients, I always give them by what nutritionists say. So on Sundays, I tell them they eat breakfast, they eat traditional breakfast, lunch, dinner, 2 snacks. And then Monday through Saturday, they intermittent fast. Well, that's what nutritionists say, but I know even if I eat an apple, if I eat a banana, if I eat a smoothie, anytime I eat breakfast, I'm going to feel sluggish afterwards. So I don't do that. I know my body. And even if I eat purely healthy, I'm going to feel horrible in the morning and I don't want to do that. So I intermittent fast every day. That works for me. Some people may, hey, bread carbs just make you feel horrible, period. Milk, dairy, like a lot of people think, oh, I'm not lactose intolerant, but you don't realize your knees hurt, your aches and inflammation is coming from milk. So really getting into research and educating yourself. And that was my biggest, Captain Planet, you remember Captain Planet, knowledge is power.
Yeah.
Like the knowledge truly is power. Once you know this stuff, it's kind of hard to like go back or react differently once you educate. So I'm like, if I give you all the knowledge here, you don't have to go ask anybody else. You can take this and go equip yourself to keep the fat off, change your body however you want.
So, and that's called intermittent fasting?
Intermittent fasting, correct.
Intermittent fasting. So, so if someone wanted to start doing that, how do they get started in that program? Because, I know you say, Sundays, do a regular breakfast, but I mean, because your body is going to essentially go into shock, if you are breaking away from what you're normally doing, right?
Well, it depends on most people. Like, so most of the clients I get taken in, they're not really big breakfast eaters. I would tell you 80% of my clients I'm easily can put on intermittent fasting because most of them don't eat breakfast. And most of them don't eat until lunch. Now, that's not their intentional, but I'm like, if you're already like that, then let's get some benefits from that. They're going to be healthy from you. So let's take this, because they might not eat breakfast, but they might eat at, like 11:45. They might have a little quick snack or something there. Then they eat lunch. And then they might eat late night snack at night. So they don't get the benefits of intermittent fast. So let's, all right, tighten that up a little bit. You're not eating breakfast anyway. And then we can go on from there. How does someone get started? Literally set a timer, alarm, eat 12 to 8. So between 12 p.m. and 8 p.m., you eat all your food. With intermittent fasting, you want most of your bread carbs in it for dinner. So you're not staying away from carbs or anything else like that, but you want to eat most of your bread. So if you want to have cornbread or rice for dinner, that's totally fine. You want to have a dessert, that's mostly fine. You want to ease those bread carbs into your day when you intermittent fast. When you're fasting, that's from 8:01 p.m. to 11:59 a.m. the next day. You are, only thing you can have is water, plain tea, or black coffee. You cannot have anything else. That will mess up your fast. So anytime you take in more than 50 calories, that's going to interrupt your fast and you're not going to get those benefits. So the only thing you can really have is water, plain tea, and black coffee. Also, no artificial sweeteners. Well, fun fact, our body does not release insulin until food hits our stomach, except for with sweets. As soon as our tongue tastes sweetness, our body releases insulin. When our body releases insulin, it breaks that fast up.
Mm.
So a lot of people think, oh, put artificial sugar in, put it like this, and it's actually triggering, you're breaking that fast by eating it. So it's something you can literally start. Again, if you have questions, DM me. I can show you all that. If you schedule a health strategy call with me, I give you, even if you don't sign up for any training or anything like that, you're going to leave with your calories. And if you choose to intermittent fast, I give you that as well. So you'll get a free nutrition guide from me. And that nutrition guide gives you your calories and your daily protein as well. So again, I'm always a resource. I'm always adding value. So if you're watching this and you have questions, just ask, just DM me.
Nice.
So because I mean, again, I'm a big about education. If we're not, people have to know. Like,
Yeah.
you can't just get a plan. If you don't know for yourself, you're never going to be able to keep it off.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, was there a specific? Was that the program that you used when you dropped the 75 pounds, or was it the different health? Was it the different food programs like going pescatarian or trying this, trying that? Was it also in the midst of that trial and error as well?
So I started off actually on keto with my weight loss program. So keto does work, but there's also some disadvantages for keto. It is hard. You cannot build muscle with keto. So I'm not saying you can't at all, but it's a very slower process because you're not taking in the carbs that you need to grow your muscle. So with keto, I had lost a lot of weight and that was cool. But the problem was I wasn't getting the muscle size I wanted at first. With the amount that I was lifting, I was very strong, but I wasn't getting the muscle. So I started off with keto, then we moved on from keto. When I did pescatarian, when I was a pescatarian, it was one of those times that I worked out for 3 months and then stopped. But I could totally tell the difference in my body. Like that was probably the most muscle I ever put on at one time because fish is just straight protein and healthy fat. So
Mm-hmm.
it really helped. But for me, it was learning the balance of eating. And my program for me was just literally, all right, I'm going to try to get fruits and veggies with every meal. And then when I research more stuff, when you get past the diet culture of don't eat this, don't eat that, and you start researching
Mm-hmm.
more stuff, it's just like, eat balanced meal. 80%. So B minus work. If you put 80% into your nutrition, that means, hey, home cooked meals, fresh proteins, not processed, veggies, fruits, rice, whole grains, everything like that. 80% of the time, if you do that, and then 20% of the time, have ice cream, have cookies, eat out, you can be healthy and eat. Like people are like, oh, I can't have this, have this. I'm like, I have cookies every night. I'm a cookie monster. Like I have them all the time. Like it's not an issue. And again, this is more self-awareness. It's kind of like when I said I started my journey and I hired the coach and I had this image of me being 21 and sex symbol. Like if you're an accountant, why are you trying to have an 8-pack? Like if you want that, I'm not saying you can't have that, but like you live a life of an accountant and then you want that 8-pack. No, that means you have to live the life of a bodybuilder or someone that would do that. And a lot of people don't realize. They realize, hey, I go to the gym every day. Why don't I look like that? Well, you don't realize those guys go to the gym twice a day. You don't realize that bodybuilders. Oh man.
Yeah, we got comfortable. Yeah, we got comfortable. Oh my goodness. Ah.
Those guys go to recreational centers twice a day.
Yeah, they go to rec centers.
Like bodybuilders, they'll tell you their job is to work out and eat. That is their job. That is all they do, and they have a camera guy there filming it all day. Like
Right.
that is what they do. So I just real expectations. Like, hey, if you work 60 hours a week and you're trying to get a weight loss goal, then that's okay. But you can't like put it in there. How many hours do you have? Like I ask my clients to have 5 hours. 5 hours to get weight loss goals, right? All right. Now, if you want to add 30 pounds of muscle, that might go up to 7 hours. If you want to add this, like, is this different? So setting realistic goals for what you want.
Mhm.
I was training for a time, and the way I was training was like to be a bodybuilder, and I was like, but that's not what I want. Like, I don't
Yeah.
want to be a bodybuilder. And I was like, all right, stop training. No, I don't want that life. I don't want
Yeah.
to commit. While I love working out, I don't want to commit that much time
Yeah.
for something I don't really truly want.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get it. I completely get it. This has been amazing, and I really appreciate you taking the time
I
to hang
appreciate
with
being on the
us
show.
and to converse. Before we get out of here, usually we end with words of wisdom. How can the people reach you, which will also be in the show notes? And then what will your words of wisdom be for the people?
Oh, how you can reach me is my number one platform. It's Instagram. I love Instagram. That's my jam. So that is Parents Fitness Coach, at Parents Fitness Coach on Instagram. Theparentsfitnesscoach.com is the website. You can get me there and blog. You can join the email list on either or. And then my words of wisdom, I am going to give you the three. Nutrition seems to be the 80% of this. Like, I mean, it is 80% of this, but this seems to be the biggest hassle with everyone. So I'm gonna just give you my 3 nutrition tips that you could start tomorrow and start losing weight. One, track your calories. If you're going on a road trip, you know how much gas you have on your car. Tracking your calories is just making sure your body has enough fuel for the day. That's exactly what it is. I think a lot of people use it as like a handcuffs. It's just a tool. See it as that. MyFitnessPal is just a tool. So track your calories. That's one. Number 2, hydrate. Your water is very important. When your body stops functioning, as soon as you lose 2%, or you go into 2% dehydration mode, your brain slows down, your body stops digesting food, your energy depletes, all this stuff from 2%, just 2% dehydration. So make sure you hydrate through the day. And then thirdly, eat fruit or veggie with every meal. That's a simple nutrition. So even if you're having cookies, get 3 cookies and get an orange. If you're having dinner, have veggie. Of course, have veggies on every meal. If you do that, 1, you're going to be more full, so you're not going to overeat. 2, you're getting the nutrition that you need throughout the day. And again, I don't care if it's all fruit. I'm not saying you don't need vegetables, but I'd rather you do something than nothing. And I hear a lot of people like, oh, I don't like vegetables, so I'm not going to eat fruit either. No, if you don't like vegetables, just eat fruit. Like, do something. We can get you a little bit over the hump later, but do something. So fruit or veggie with every meal. And if you start doing those, you'll notice a change in your body really quickly.
Mm, I like that. I think my words of wisdom will be something that you said, and I feel like I say it, but maybe I don't know, maybe I haven't said it on this platform, is grant yourself grace. It's something that Coach D has said, and I feel like, time and time again we hear it, but we don't really process it. But grant yourself some grace. You're here, let's do this. Um, thank you again. I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. We're going to have some great digestion pretty soon within the next 24 hours.
Let me get these candles ready out here. Let me get these candles ready. Oh man. And y'all make sure you check out Jampacked on Instagram at Jampacked Show. This will all be up on YouTube. So youtube.com/Jampacked. We are back every Wednesday. We are here. We are here. We are here. Make sure you check out Jampacked every Wednesday. This has been awesome. This has been such a pleasure.
Thank you. Yes, 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 yes. Jam-packed.
Hey, and we will see you on the next Jampacked. Woo!
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Everyone, go be great.